It's Friday, August 25th, and when it's Friday, you know what that means. It's time for Comics Forever. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Comics Forever, the weekly show where I tell you about all the comics that we love that you should be reading. This week I've got a couple cool alternate takes on the fantasy genre. I always claim that I'm not a huge fan of fantasy, and then I prove myself to be a liar. So here's some fantasy books that I love that I think you will love too. First up, we've got Supergirl, The Woman of Tomorrow by Tom King and Bilquis Evanley. This book rules. I'm sure you've heard a lot about it. There's been a ton of buzz about it since James Gunn had his announcement that this is going to be the basis for a Supergirl movie. If they manage to pull off even somewhat slightly close to the art design of this book, it'll be the greatest movie of all time, because this art is just absurd. And you may be thinking, I thought Casey said it was going to be a fantasy episode, and I did. So essentially this book, this girl, Ruthie, her father is murdered, so she wants to hire a bounty hunter to slay his assassinator. Is his murderer? His murderer is the word I was looking for. Which you may realize is the plot of True Grit. It's essentially True Grit with Supergirl on a barbarian planet. So it's very swords and sorcery and barbarians and slings and arrows and all that good stuff. So it's kind of like True Grit meets Conan the Barbarian by way of Supergirl. If you like any of those things, I highly recommend checking this book out. This is the whole story. It was 12 issues long, I believe. 8 issues, just kidding. It was 8 issues long. This is the whole thing, and it is so good. So check out Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow today. And for another fantasy book with a twist, Briar. This book is by Christopher Cantwell with art by German Garcia. This book rules. It's essentially the story that you know very well, Sleeping Beauty, but with a somewhat post-apocalyptic twist. Essentially, Prince Charming finds Sleeping Beauty, Briar Rose, and instead of waking her up, he weds her while she is still asleep and takes over her kingdom and makes it crash and burn. So she eventually, finally, wakes up and it's all gone to hell. Her entire kingdom is just decimated, and she wakes up to a world that she does not recognize and is forced to try to fight her way back to figure out how to fix it all. This is the first 4 issues. I desperately need more of it, Boom Studios. It's so good. So make sure you pick up Briar Volume 1 today. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Comics Forever. As always, you can shop with us for these comics and many more at bravenewworldscomics.com, or stop by and shop with us in store in Old City. Or in Willow Grove, because I post these videos on there too. Also, in the meantime, if you want to check out my podcast, it's called Tales from the Short Box and has tons of other comic book recommendations. And until next time, Comics Forever. Time for Comics Forever.